So the first thing we need to do is to select a wall, and then we're going to click on the Edit Type button, and that opens this Type Properties. Duplicate will give us the opportunity to create a new type of wall. So I'm going to call this one Mr. M's Wall Brick Outer, and it's going to be a paint inner. Basically, I'm going to have brick on the outside and paint on the inside. Okay. So I need to edit the structure of my wall now. So you can see at the top it says exterior, at the bottom it says interior. And what we need to do is we need to make sure that we've got the correct surface finish on the inside and the outside. So I'm going to move this one, put a new one, move it to the bottom, and this is going to be finish 2. So this is the interior side, so this is going to be a paint type. So I'm going to choose from the category, it opens up my materials browser, and in here I'm going to just basically type paint and see what it comes up with. And we got this one called parking stripe. That'll do for now, because literally all we're doing is making a default paint type. We're going to paint over it later. We'll leave the render appearance, so it's going to come out looking yellow. It doesn't really matter about anything else on there at the moment. That'll do. We'll click OK. And I'm going to basically make the thickness. I have to have a thickness to it, so I'll make 10 here and take 10 away from somewhere else. So my wall is still the same thickness. Now I wouldn't have a 10mm paint one really, but that'll do for this. I'll click OK and OK again. If you see now on that wall, I'll click on the walls and I'll change them all to my one, which is Mr. M brick wall. It's created this extra wall for me now. So all I need to do is to choose it, and it will change each of those walls to it. So you can see what's happening. It's putting that yellow paint on the inside and the outside remaining as a brick finish. We'll just do the last couple. Okay, now if I spin that around, you can see that it's done exactly what it's supposed to do. It's created a paint finish on the inside and a different on the outside. Now I need to make another type of wall. This time I'm going to make one which is basically paint on both sides, so it's an internal wall. So give it a good name. Internal wall is good. Mr. M's wall, so I know it's the one I've made. And I'm going to do the same process, but this time I'm going to put 2 finishes, one on the outside and the inside, which are both paint. So at the moment that finish there is masonry, which is like brick. So I need to change that one. I might just make it a finish 2 as well, just so it all stays the same. And again, I'm going to look for that yellow paint and have that as my finish. There's my parking stripe. Parking stripe's actually the one that you used for putting yellow lines on the road to show where cars are supposed to park. But it will do for our wall. And I'll do the same thing with the thicknesses here. I need to change so that I can add a thickness to both ends. So this one now is going to be the inside paint wall. So I've had another finish 2 in there. Choose my yellow. So you can see I've got a finish 2 on the exterior side and a finish 2 on the interior side. Click OK. Now if I swing that around, you'll see that it's put a paint finish on both sides of that wall. So all I've done is I've substituted the original brick wall and I've put my one in instead of it, but they're the same thickness, so it doesn't change anything about it. Okay, what I want to do now is I'm going to basically look at how I make some different color paints. So I'm going to go into manage, and inside manage I've clicked on materials. There's parking stripe. Now I could just do paint again just to limit it down a bit more, but I'm going to duplicate this one, make sure I've got render appearance ticked, and in identity I can give it a new name, but I need to make sure in a minute that I haven't duplicated this anywhere. So at the moment you can see parking stripe and parking stripe 1 on the left hand side look the same. Now it's gone to paint blue, but it obviously isn't blue yet because I haven't changed the colour. But this is the important thing. Where it says 1 next to canary, I need to duplicate the asset, which actually does the opposite. It makes sure that this asset is not linked to anything else. So it's not actually duplicating anything, it's taking away the link between 2 different ones. And I've changed my colour. Check in again, I'll make sure everything's correct and click apply. So if I don't click on that asset button, it will leave the new paint and the old paint linked to each other, like this one is at the moment now. So I'm making a new one again. So in identity, I'll give it a new name. Try for green paint this time. Okay, I need to unlink that. So click here. That's unlinked it from the original. I can change my color again, pick from my color picker. Bit bright maybe. Okay, that might be a nicer color. Click OK. And again, just check that everything's rendered, appearance is ticked and so on. And then I can click apply again. So now I've made myself an extra color again. Okay, so to actually apply my color, what I need to do is I need to select my wall, and in the modify I can click on the paint button. It gives me my all my paints to choose from now that I've made, and all I do is literally click on the face of the wall that I want to be that color, and it will change them for me. So you see I'm using the green now. If I spin around, if I don't want those yellows on there, again I can just click, and when I want to I can change my color around again. And you'll see that the light affects them in different edges, so although it looks darker and lighter, it's just to do with where the light's shining. And pretty much that's all you have to do to get your walls painted. Good luck with that.